everybody, it's Julie and I'm back with a great video for you today. I'm going to be heat embossing and I'm working with the Hero Arts Starburst image, which is a really fun stamp. If you look carefully, you might see flowers, you might see pom-poms, you might see candle wicks, sparklers, fireworks, all kinds of things. So use your imagination and I think you'll find a lot of uses for this stamp. And the first thing I need to do is to prep my cardstock surface. So I'm using an anti-static pouch, and this will eliminate any moisture or oil from my fingertips that might be on the surface of the paper and reduce any, what's that scientific? Electrostatic issues that I might be having in the air that would make the powder stick in unwanted areas. And so I'm going to stamp the image. I actually rotated my paper and stamped from this direction. I know, it probably looks funny, but it actually works for me. So sometimes, you got to do some, stamping gymnastics. And it looks like I had a little fuzzball there in my white embossing powder. So good thing I had my tweezers to just pluck that thing out and I could keep on going. So when you heat emboss, you want to make sure that you preheat your tool because it's going to hit temperatures of about 350 degrees, maybe even higher. And you want to kind of warm up the paper, and this will kind of help reduce the amount of warping because paper isn't really designed to take that kind of high temperature. So if you preheat things a little bit before you actually start to melt the embossing powder, you'll probably reduce a lot of the warping that can occur. So I'm just going to keep on white embossing this image onto different colors of cardstock. I was kind of going for this sherbet effect, ice cream. I'm all about the food, everything I do. So I was going for this sherbet effect, and the white embossing powder and the yummy colors from the Hero Arts layering papers are working very well together to come up with this effect. And I'm just going to punch out different size circles using all these different circle punches that I have. And I have probably every size circle punch known to man, but it makes it really handy when you're doing projects like this. And I just kind of chose punches that match the sizes of the starbursts so that I could actually layer them onto the card and get the effect that I was going for. And I embossed the greeting directly onto the card front. I was going to do it on a separate piece of cardstock, and then I realized, I think it'll look just fine. And I was a little worried that some of the detail would get lost, but the Hero Arts white embossing powder worked really great and preserved the details in that image. And you may not see it on camera very well, but in real life, if you were to see it, you'd go, yes, you can see those detail lines. Now here's where I made a mistake. I meant to round that corner, and I already put adhesive, I put a ton of adhesive all over the back of that because I didn't want it to, I still had a little bit of warping and I didn't want to put it under a book and wait overnight. So I put a lot of adhesive on there, but I forgot to round the corner. So what you can do is neutralize it with an anti-static pouch, and that will keep it from gumming up your punch or the bits of paper that do get punched off. It'll keep them from getting stuck inside the punch. So now we've got the panel layered onto the card front, and then I can continue on with the rest of the card. And I'm just going to 3D mount the little starburst because I think it's fun and adds an extra element of dimension to the card. And then some little black gemstones I think add a nice bit of contrast, and I'm just cutting through the glue lines. Now you need the glue lines. I had someone once tell me that the gemstones weren't working, and I realized she had picked them off the glue lines. So you need the glue line. And then I just used my X-Acto knife to lift them up off the carrier sheet and transfer them onto the project. And then I'm just going to use my cross-lock tweezers there to add a extra hand there for me because I didn't have anybody in the studio with me to put their finger there in the middle of my bow. So that's how I keep it nice and tight. And then we'll just pull that tight, and I have a nice contrast that goes with the black gemstones and a nice pop of color using just white embossing powder and Hero Arts layering papers. Isn't that fun? Thanks for watching.